Is AI making things better, or are we all doomed?
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic, but this is the start.
Dramatic times.
Dramatic times. So here, many entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs are getting to learn or understand this AI thing. Some people are terrified and some people are like, yeah, this is about to 10x my business. So we got a lot to talk about today. So, welcome to another episode of Who's in Your Contacts, where culture, connections, and community collide. And I have a very special guest on this show today. We have the greatest, the man with the plan, the dude of all the dudes, Graham Anthony. What's up?
Not much. I've never been called the dude of all the dudes before.
The man with the plan. I mean, you, okay. So let's talk about, all right, I want to go back and talk to you about the first time I saw a presentation from Graham. It was when no one was really understanding AI. It was like the buzzword. It was kind of coming out, but no one quite understood it. Mm-hmm. And you presented to some of the ladies at the Women's Foundation of Genesee Valley, and you had like these live avatars speaking to us, having, I mean, one-on-one conversations. This is not like these cute little prompts that you're like, Chat GPT, please write this email. No, you were already far ahead of the game where we were having like a real conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm so impressed by you because like you are that guy.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I was, I pay attention. I'm a technologist, so I think it's like just staying out in front. I don't know about, those avatars, I think they were kind of janky back then. That was like a year and a half ago.
But you worked with the janky though.
People might have been impressed, but I was like, it was kind of glitchy and stuff.
I was like, ooh, this is nice. But you crushed it.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm like, if that's your janky and you working with janky, what the heck? Like, that was nice.
Yeah, thank you.
So let me tell you about Graham. All right. So Graham serves as the Assistant Vice President of Educational Technology and Innovation at the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship, where he leads the institution's AI initiatives and educational technology transformation. Super dope. In his role, he provides AI consultation through workshops and individual sessions. He develops cutting-edge curriculum in machine learning and business applications. Let's check this one out. And spearheads the AI Innovation Hub. Let me tell you something. That place at the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship. Listen here, I will forever be an advocate because that place is amazing. But it is a center dedicated to integrating applied AI into student learning, faculty teaching practices, and community engagement. His work encompasses fostering a culture of AI experimentation, from student well-being applications to advanced data analysis, positioning the Institute at the forefront of AI-driven education in business and entrepreneurship.
I wish I'd sent you a shorter bio.
But it's it, though.
Yeah, that is it, but it's like...
But that's what you do, and it's so good.
It is. Yeah, I know. I just...
Oh, my gosh. It's so...
Not someone to listen to people talk about me, so yeah, okay.
That's why I said he's like the man amongst men. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Oh my gosh. So let's get into it, because the things that I've heard where people are like thinking that AI is going to take over the world, or is it? You hear like the wildest things. But with you have managed to kill all the noise, whether people believe it's true or not, and really distilled it down into a way that folks could really learn it, 10x their business, and really drive it home to help them. So let me ask you, with AI, how it's used now, or when you first experienced it, what was your thought about it?
When I first experienced it, I thought it had a lot of potential. Like, it's in some ways, it's like kind of like able to predict the future. So I kind of felt like you could see potential. This was in like 2016, and it wasn't kind of fleshed out. So it's just, I was just curious about it, I guess, at the time. I didn't think it would become what it is today. Like, the people who saw that it would be what it is today really were visionaries, I think, because back then it like could kind of make a prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, okay, so let me ask you, what are some of the reactions you are hearing about AI, that when you hear folks talk about it, what are some of the truths and what are some of the lies? Let's do lies. Let's do some myth busting here.
Myth busting.
Well, did you know that I sing sometimes on episodes?
We can. Well, I'm not going to drop a beat.
Oh, yo,
you definitely don't want to drop a beat.
Just drop it.
No, I'm not going to drop a beat. That's okay.
I was like, yes, yes.
What was I going to say? I think simultaneously people think that it's dumber than it is and smarter than it is at the same time. Like, I think people imbue mythical powers into artificial intelligence. I think that, people go, oh, well, it's not going to get into creativity. It's not going to harm creative jobs and that kind of thing. And I think that, unfortunately, some of that might be true, that it might, And I think people also think that it's magical. And I think that there will be a time probably at some point where, like, it might actually feel pretty magical. But that time is not today. Maybe some people think it's magical, but it'll be in the future.
For the person sitting in their house and they are building a bunker because they believe the machines are taking over, what do you say to that person?
Building a bunker, I think, is extreme in many cases. I don't know. I mean, I think if you're prone to bunker building,
you're going to do it anyway?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who are afraid of a lot of different things, and maybe this is just the latest kind of boogeyman that's come out. I think the future can be super bright, or it could be super bleak, and I think that that's sort of a human nature discussion more than it is something about the machines.
Oh, right? I like it. Okay, all right, give us a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because all you hear about is the machine, but you're not hearing a lot about the human nature or the inputs into the machine.
Yeah, sure.
That's so good.
Yeah, I think look, we could have self-driving cars today, like, all over our roads. I mean, if you've ever been in a Tesla in self-driving mode, like, that it's capable of doing it.
It is.
But we have fear, maybe irrational. I'm not going to pass judgment on that, but we have fear about it causing injuries.
Yeah.
And, the question then becomes, like, what would convince you that it would be okay for there to be no human-driven cars? Would we have to have 0 accidents? Would we have to have, 90% less than what we have today with human-driven cars? Like, what's the threshold where we actually accept that? And so there's, like, some legislation stuff that, like, slows adoption down, and probably rightly so.
Yeah.
And then I think, there are models that are able to detect cancer way more accurately than a human doctor, right? And so we could talk about job displacement of doctors even. But, like, who doesn't want a world without cancer?
Right.
It's
like, these are the things.
Yeah.
It's so important. And then there's always this going back to that human element, that we're always going to want conversation with a human. We're always going to want human touch. There's just some things that humans just do well. And so personally, I am not afraid of AI, and it has helped me it helped me greatly. By the way, I was just in Scottsdale, Arizona last week, and I got into, forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, but a Waymo car.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. So I will post right before or after this episode my experience in a Waymo vehicle. I was screaming and howling the entire time because of excitement.
Yeah,
but it was super safe.
Yeah. They're really, I mean, there's some weird times where they do things that are surprising.
Yeah.
And I think that it's understandable when it's a human, maybe not forgivable in some cases, but understandable, but it's not understandable when it's a machine, right?
Like, I had a great time.
That's great.
I was just like, all right, let's go for it. My brother's like, let's go out, get some tacos. He's like, we're going to take a Waymo. And I was just like, yes, we shall. And it was the best experience ever.
I want to go back to something you said, which is funny, like human connection. When you mentioned the bunker building, like for me, like, that also means that you're shutting yourself off from the world willingly, right? And
Right.
and like I think there's like this element of like, I mean, there's things that people need to be worried about, but also there's like real human stuff that you don't want to like give up on.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I literally was thinking about like, well, if you shut yourself in a bunker, you're going to shut down any contact with people.
Anyway.
And people skills might be the most important skills of the future.
That's right.
You
Come
know?
on, Graham.
That's what, I think so.
I know so.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
how you build business. That's how you build economy. That's how we were. That's how the world runs. We are now global citizens. I would say a couple
Yep.
years back you couldn't really say that, but now with AI and with technology, we are all global citizens, and
Yep.
the human touch is needed. And
Yeah.
guess what? It ain't going anywhere, friends. It's not. All right, so Graham, talk to me about the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship and your role there.
So I'm super fortunate. I get to, I developed a lot of the curriculum. Now it's in other people's hands, which is great, and they're smart and they're taking it in awesome directions. So I was fortunate enough to get it started for the sort of technical curriculum. And then, now my job is to kind of pay attention to what's going on in the world around artificial intelligence and help our students learn and kind of keep up with it. It is like drinking from a fire hose. I mean, it's very fast.
Yeah.
Stuff's accelerating so fast you just can't keep up with it.
AI Learning Hub is pretty incredible, and there are just students who are new to AI and some that already get it. What are some of the trends that you're seeing with students where they're like, this is completely new to me, and since I've learned this, it's changed the game?
I would talk about a person's confidence more so than maybe even their technical skills or there's a lot of people come in and they're afraid to do the technical work that we do, and they leave knowing that they can. We had a young student, but she was great. And she actually, so like I'm not technical, and we have this thing we call the Lord Burroughs Cup, where we have a contest, and whichever student can sort of make the best artificial intelligence model the cheapest wins the cup. And she was spending hours and hours and hours on it. And, she's like, I'm not a technical person. I don't even think she wants to do this when she's done. But, like, the idea that she could and that she could dig into it, I think surprised her. And it's really cool to see that spark come on. I know you do a lot of work with young people. And, like, to see that spark is, like, the magical aspect of the work.
It really is. Let's get into entrepreneurship, growing, scaling. It is so hard to do things alone. It really is hard. And then understanding that not everyone has that angel investor that drops from the sky to give you the dollars. You just have a passion, an idea in your head, and you're going to build this business, and you're alone. And a lot of times entrepreneurs are building without capital to start with. It's like, let me break out my notepad and the desk that I bought and the computer, and we're just going to rock it out. And operationally, that's tough, because you have to be the accountant, you have to be the executive assistant, all of those things at the same time. And a lot of entrepreneurs are also working full-time jobs. So talk to us about, do you believe that AI could assist that solopreneur right out the gate, possibly fighting for their lives?
Yeah, for sure.
And they need to get stuff done. How can AI help them? Can AI even help them?
Yeah. I mean, I think yes. I mean, the answer is yes. 100% it can. There's an interesting story. It's super popular, but like Instagram, I think reached $1 billion valuation with five founders, or maybe it's just 5 employees. I don't know if they were all founders, but the other side of that is like, I think, there's a lot of talk about when will $1 billion valuation be reached by a solopreneur, right? So like, there's a lot of thought that artificial intelligence can help assist that. And if you want to move past the hype of like, oh, can we build $1 billion business with just AI, and into like the real sort of nitty gritty, there's a lot of reasons to believe that AI can help, right? I've written a lot of articles about the idea that like you could write with vibe coding and that kind of thing. It used to be that you would have to hire a programmer and you probably give equity for that, right? You trade equity because you need their skill. And I think that dynamic flips now, and it's like, okay, I can actually get a working prototype out, and maybe I can just chase venture capital, and I can do that on my own, maybe in some cases over a weekend. you know. And that,
You hear that? Over a weekend.
yeah, it's wild how fast you can move.
Yeah, it really, I mean, it really is. Can you share a practical example how someone with a small team or no team can use AI to be more efficient right away?
Yeah, I think, if we go back to the sort of like workflow automation concept, right? Like, let's say you're just trying to hit the ground running on sales and you need the sales prospect and figure out that ideal customer profile, we've seen so many students use artificial intelligence to do the sales prospecting for them. Like I'm looking for this, for companies like this in the Rochester region that are capable of this, and by the way, have the capital, and then maybe they're on this end of the technology adoption curve, right?
Yeah.
Like starting to hone in so that you're not spending your time just scattershot.
No
You're
way.
super focused on like, this is the person that I need to sell to.
So wait, so there's a system
Yeah.
that they can actually plug in their target audience
Yeah.
and tells them how to find them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a little bit of legwork. Like, this is the human part, right? Like, what do I think my target audience is? But
Yeah.
after that, I mean, like Gemini with deep research or any of the tools that people are really familiar with, they have a deep research mode. You can just say, hey, go and do this for me. Go and do the web searches and then surface the ones that are most important and meet my criteria. And that's a simple, like, I think anyone could do that today.
You have been around the coolest people at the Golisano Institute. I mean, if I watch the videos every Wednesday or Thursday when they come out, when there's guest speakers. I mean, the speakers incredible from all over the globe, from multimillionaires to billionaires who are just kicking butt inside their employment places, or just their entrepreneurs themselves. So you've seen a lot. What if the most impressive stories or story of someone who have grown their business using AI, or maybe like an AI business where you're like, this is pretty nice. I like this.
So AI is still so new that I don't have a lot of like, oh, AI is the thing that got me going kind of stories that have shown up on the stage. People who have, I always like everybody likes the underdog story, right? Like,
I was actually just going to ask you, like, what's your why? Like, as you're going into that and talking about the AI things that you've seen, but I want you to, like, put in the end, like, why AI for you?
Why AI for me? It's a great question. It's not something I think about a lot. I think I'm just a huge nerd, and I sort of like started like writing the code and stuff, and then it just evolved. I'm not kind of a jack of all trades, and so my why is I'm just fascinated. I was just fascinated by it, and now I'm seeing the ways that it can change the world for good.
Yeah.
And that's probably my biggest why right now. It's like helping young people realize kind of what the shift will be and how they can harness it for their own benefit.
I mean, listen, you heard Graham. If you're nerding out on something, by the time you look around, you're running an entire AI hub. Entire AI innovation hub. So never give up on your dreams or thinking, well, this is just a hobby of mine, because the technology that you are overseeing is absolutely bananas.
It's good advice. I wish I had somebody tell me that when I was young.
I wish there was people to tell me a lot of things when I was young.
Yeah.
Now the learning curve.
Yeah.
I remember now I'm dating myself. I was in probably middle school or high school and had to go to the computer lab. Yeah. They had all these Apple, I call them bubble butts.
Yeah.
Like these big, huge hunks of Apple computers, and it was type classes.
Yep.
And you're like, do. And then it was like a whole entire year of like doing the things and learning how to use Excel. And still, I don't know how to use Excel that well. I'm still fighting for my life in that area. So we're going to get to, like, the learning curve. Let's talk honestly about it. Can someone really start using AI right away, or does it require a mindset shift before everything else works? Do you have to have this like relationship in your head where, yeah, I'm going to use this? What does it take? Can Grandma Sally, which there's a lot of Grandma Sally's teaching me how to use the interwebs. Yeah. So anyone basically who is just starting it, can they just like bust out and do the AI stuff?
I mean, you said you took typing class, so you can just grab ChatGPT and just start typing. I think there is a mindset shift that can happen, but like just dipping your toe in the water isn't a deep, doesn't feel like that deep of a dive. I mean, but yeah, once you get past that, I mean, then we talk about this with businesses too. Like, are you just trying to evolve or are you trying to transform? And like evolving is, maybe AI can help me solve this problem that I have. And transformation's like maybe just a completely different business model that still serves the same need, I think AI can do both, but I think in some cases, like maybe transform's more appropriate, but evolve is more palatable in the short term, But yeah, the answer to your question, because I got off on a tangent, is
but it's good. This is a good conversation. This is a great conversation. Yeah. Going back to that learning curve, what I've seen with some of my clients is that they're online, they hear about how these different platforms and softwares can help them, and then they buy all of them. So then you have at least 10 subscriptions a year, paying a between $20 to upwards of $300 a month. And then you're like, this is a thing that's going to change my business. And no one knows how to use the thing. So you end up wasting money. Is there a training before actually implementing a certain tool or software into your business?
Yeah, I guess there's a couple. I have so many thoughts. There are training. I mean, we offer some training for people, and but I think like, it's interesting because what you're saying makes me think. First of all, don't do that. Don't buy 20 different pieces of software.
Don't do that.
But technology is deflationary. So like the fact that you could get that kind of technology for $20 a month, like, I mean, in some cases, if you're using AI to run down sales leads, right, if you can get that training and do that, then that's actually very much worth it, right? Like you could imagine, you talk about Excel, right? A calculator used to be a person in a room in the 50s. Then it became a computer, and then now now they're in our pocket, right? So technology is deflationary, and I think that's an example of this thing took jobs, right? Like calculator was a job at some point, and so. This is one of the reasons why I do have optimism is like, I think that people are resilient and they'll figure things out and jobs will transform. But to your earlier point about, is there training? Yes, there's training. And I don't think you should just scattershot all over the place. But also because of this deflationary pressure, like if you do learn to use it, I mean, what a boon it can be for you and your company, right? And the thing that's wild about AI is it's so broad. I think people think that it's going to be this savior, and I mean nothing's a savior. You still got to put in the work,
Yeah, you still do, because some of these AI emails, I'm like, you know, like you really do know. I was thinking about when that question. And even the human touch and onboarding, that you could have all the best software in the world, but if you don't have the right people to think about onboarding and how you bring folks into the culture of the organization, because that is going to be the input for what you put into the machine 100%. And you get what you get. So you're not losing the human you can lose the human touch depending on how you think as a human. We're actually getting what we believe. I truly believe that with AI is like what we see, because someone had to put the input in. It's learning us, big time. And it's just that's kind of where I am, is that it's going to work for you based on how you teach your people. Kind of thing. I think freeing people up to experiment and like driving a culture of experimentation, but also like
talking about, like, leadership is so important at that moment. Like, what does it look like to transform our organization, but also, like, what does it look like to what does our organization really need? Like, what are you, if I give you this new thing, or we provide this, or you take advantage of it, what does it mean for the organization? How are you going to harness it for the organization? That's a leadership question.
Keep going. I like this pivot of leadership, and AI. You are definitely on to something. You are leading the next generation of AI coders or just business owners. What type of leadership skills do you believe is most important now in the world of technology?
You know, it's interesting because I don't consider myself a leadership expert, so I don't have any, like, academic.
He's lying. No, well, let me tell you. So we have these moments of I love and I like you segments on the Who's in Your Contact show. And I always make it a point to talk about what I see in people. And you don't have to be around someone your entire life or months to see greatness, right? And the way how you have led in innovation at the Golisano Institute is absolutely incredible. You walked into that room and you said that you thought at that time the technology was janky.
Yeah.
And so if you thought a person who's like, well, I'm not going to show it because it's janky. It wasn't janky, y'all. It was fresh. You walked into that room, commanded it in a way you knew your stuff, and you stood by that technology. And I was just like, God, I want to be like him when I grow up. I was just, and you are a leader. When we did the surveys after that event, you blew them away. They couldn't stop. They could not stop talking about it. And on top of that, we had two girls that went on to start their businesses, and they were in that room that day when you presented, and they're using AI in their businesses. So are you a leader? Heck yeah, because you have two girls who are now entrepreneurs who are kicking butt at only the age of 18 because you showed up.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm just saying I don't have an academic background in leading, but thank you for the kind words. But yeah, my academics are not. I don't servant-based leadership. I don't have that kind of like language. I think it's just inspiration. I mean, I really do. Like, what's the big picture, and then how are you going to use this tool? I mean, these things are tools at the end of the day.
It really is.
Yeah, so thank you for the kind words. I'm kind of at a loss for words myself now, hearing all that. I mean, I'm so pleased that two people went off and took it in a good direction.
You're a boss. The thing is, sometimes we see the leadership gurus, and some of them went to school or have the words. You want to know what leadership is to me? Being able to solve someone's problem based on where you've come from. That's what it is. You don't have to write a workbook or sell something online. Leadership is, I went through this, and this, and I'm so passionate about it that I'm going to talk about it. And that one is self-leadership.
Sure.
And then being able to transfer that into something that changes the lives of someone else. I don't care if someone went to the Harvard Business School of whatever, and you got a degree in leadership. There's no groups of people that says, you've changed my life. Yeah. You're not a leader. You just have some attachment to your name.
Yeah, exactly.
And the greatest leaders in our lifetime and throughout history are people who didn't walk into the Harvards or the places. There are the people who started payroll companies. Yeah, Tom. Like Tom Golisano, who saw a problem, solved it, and now is paying it forward in ways like most have never seen. That is what leadership is, and that is what you are doing. Those are the people I put respect on their names.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I very much agree.
You lead with heart, That is what's going to change the game. I'm not afraid of AI, because there's
That's good.
people like you and I. There's people that we know who are putting in the inputs into that thing where it's going to do some good
Yeah.
stuff, like detect cancer.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be bad things too. Let's not. But I think those are probably misaligned. People are misaligned with humanity, frankly.
For mission-driven organizations, there are a lot of nonprofit organizations or just regular for-profit organizations that are doing good things. How do we balance efficiency with values and integrity when using AI?
I think about efficiency being in conflict with integrity or an individual's values. I mean, maybe it does if you need to lay people off. I think that's a hard. It's a hard discussion. I was just talking to somebody yesterday who works for a veterans group, and he was talking about how he's written, they have a quota for grant writing, and he had exceeded it by 20%, and he was only working 16 hours a day, so now he's at the Institute. Not 16 hours, I mean, because he's at the Institute, he's working 16 hours a day, but he was able to do 20% more than previously with the help of artificial intelligence. And, the conversation we had, and he kind of led this, is like, we can do more now. Right, like it's about how do we do better, and how can we do more? And I think that's for people like that who are driven, like mission driven. Once you get that little bit of help, now you can do more. You can start to pour it in, and I think those people are resourceful. They'll figure out how to take AI and use it as the thing that keeps the lights on, so they can do the important work of the outreach or whatever they need to do.
Nonprofit folks are scrappy.
Yes.
And I mean, sometimes we're used to just making something beautiful, and it's just like, all right, you got 2 pennies. Although they're not making any more pennies, y'all. So if you have 2 pennies to rub together, just keep those pennies.
Hold on to them. Yeah.
hold on to them. But yeah, grant writing, like we host at the Women's Foundation, we host an immersive grant writing program, and AI has been such a help. And with funding priorities that are changing, and everyone is fighting for the same pot of money, AI opens up another door for them to apply for more grants, but also to make money at. I'm an entrepreneur to the core. So before working with the Women's Foundation of Genesee Valley, I was on their board. And our ED had to step away. And so during the interim, I was like, yeah, I could take it because I could.
Yeah.
And I caught the bug, and I'm still there. And now we are exploring, how do we make this into a true business model? Because if nonprofits aren't thinking this way, they're going to close their doors. And so the history of nonprofit work is service, and, you make do with what you have, but you're not going to survive that way.
It's super important. I think that you can be focused on the mission and be blinded to the reality that there are other opportunities, right? I think that's a real thing.
That's a camera moment.
I'll look into the camera. There you go. Yeah, I think I think that that's something that I try and talk to people about a lot. Like, you have opportunity over here on the side, right? But how do we, you just said it, like everybody's trying to just rub 2 pennies together and make some magic happen. And we're trying to keep the lights on. What are you going to do? How are you going to go out and get the big fish or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think AI can help with that. But that's the mindset shift.
Hear this mindset. You hear the golden gems that Graham is dropping over here. If you're a nonprofit organization, but if you're a nonprofit organization, listen, we live in a globe of abundance. There is no shortage. Folks are selling paper clips on TikTok and becoming millionaires overnight. And so if there's a mission that you really care about, don't be afraid of AI. Don't just lock yourself into grants or the traditional fundraising mechanisms. There are other ways that you can leverage this software, these tools, that you can bring in dollars for your organization and for the people that you serve. And so there are opportunities, like Graham said, there are opportunities out there. You just got to be willing to see. You got to be really willing to see them. So do something wild, and instead of going to the regular professional development place that you've been going to, and they stand in front of the screen and they do a little PowerPoint and a breathing exercise. Everyone wants to do a breathing exercise. Invest in some AI courses, invest in getting some coaches, and do something different. This could be the thing that keeps the doors open for your nonprofit, or just help it to grow.
You know, I didn't come here I'm here in service of you. I don't want to just shill the program, but there is a 1-year program for employer sponsored, which means, you know, if you're a
Talk
nonprofit,
about it. I'm here. Yes.
I mean, the core of it is basically you're just at the Institute from 8:45 to 10:30 in the morning, then you go back to work.
Please talk about this, and if you want to talk directly to the camera, because all right, so I'm associate faculty at the Golisano Institute, doing work at the Women's Foundation of Genesee Valley, and I own my own consultancy, LSK Consulting, and so I believe in the mission of the Golisano Institute. And on top of that, your girl here is not a gatekeeper, because there is more than enough. So the purpose of this show is to make sure that you get the tools that you need to thrive, because forget surviving, we're thriving forever. So talk about this. I want people to jump in. Like, this is life changing.
Yeah, I think it can be especially for nonprofits. I mean, it's cheap. It's $8,900 a year. And if you're saying, oh well, I'm still trying to rub those 2 pennies together, I mean, come down and talk to us, because barely anyone pays that. Like, come down and like meet with the people and like get your rising stars in there, right? Like, devote the time, from my perspective, right? Devote the time so that you're not just blinded by the mission. You're going to see the opportunities that are around that mission that can uplift you. I think that's really valuable. And it's 1 year in artificial intelligence, and it's always through a business lens. So super focused on kind of that growth mindset. Like, how can we help you expand, you know? Yeah. And we want that to be the nonprofits in the Rochester area and the Buffalo area.
Yeah. So if you are in the upstate New York area, if you're close to Rochester, New York, if you're close to Buffalo's soon about to do its thing.
Buffalo, yep,
this fall.
Yep.
It's worth the investment. If you are on the fence, you don't know what's next, please look up the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship. Check out their AI Innovation Center. Send your staff, please, to this 1-year course. What do you have to lose? Do you want to be in 2027, especially when the technology is changing? Are you satisfied with where you are now? This is not just an AI thing. This is just a life thing. Yeah. Are you satisfied with where you are now? And if that's fine, that's fine. But if you're not, at some point, you're going to have to get up and do something about it. If you are not satisfied with your finances, if you're not satisfied with the relationship with your spouse or with your children or anything, there is a point in your life where you have to get up and do something now, because you risk going into another year being the same. Time waits for absolutely no one. That's the one guarantee. You could go with the flow or stay the same, and it's not fair. There's too many things on the inside of you that this world needs in order for you to stay the same. Sign up for the class, go get your coach, save the relationship, get humble, and also pay for wisdom. Not everything is free. So if you see a price tag on it that's wild, guess what? If you have to pay $900 or $2,000 or whatever the amount is for transformational change for you to live a better life later, don't worry about it. That might be the best investment of your life. So if this is what you needed to hear, whoever is out there in the interwebs, and you needed to hear something like this today, this is your year. Go for the gold, because people are waiting for you to show up. And if that's AI, folks, you know what to do. You know what website to go to. Go visit the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship and sign up for this AI course.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Well, we love nonprofits.
Come on.
And we work with them too for the finances. So
you all are just incredible. Like what we're doing at the Women's Foundation, we're having the girls' conference there, and of course professional development there, but also we are working with girls who have intellectual disabilities because they are business owners too. Mm-hmm. they are capable of doing absolutely anything and everything.
Sure.
And especially with the assistance of AI, come on.
Yeah.
It's a game changer for them. And so we are just so
100%.
grateful to the Golisano Institute for opening the doors to all of our girls who they have big futures no matter who they are, and to find a landing space that is so it's like thoughtfully curated for individuals who just want to put their foot on the gas pedal, removing all the fluff and just getting to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really big deal, I think, you know. And there's so many people who are motivated and just don't have access, right? And so, like, how do we give access?
Yeah,
you know?
and that's the place
Yeah.
for it. Fast forward,
Sure.
looking ahead, probably 2 to 3 years,
Oh, boy.
which could come like that.
Yeah, it will.
How do you think AI will be showing up in everyday work for an individual person and businesses?
Showing up, you know what, this is going to surprise some people, but I'm often hesitant to even guess a year out. The speed of acceleration right now is so, like, and that's not just speed, that's acceleration. Like, things are moving faster every day, you know. Like, we saw November, I think, we saw the three primary, like, the big, we call them the frontier model companies, releasing new products. Literally, I looked at it. It was like every 6 days, like, they were like one-upping each other.
Wow.
And, you know, there's just like this fire under there that's like
every 6 days.
Yeah, there was a new one coming out with new capabilities, and it's hard to imagine. I mean, right now there's a new thing that's capable. It's called Claude Cowork, and it can just work on your computer. You can say, hey, go through my files, find every time every grant that I ever wrote that was focused on blah blah blah, and it'll just take over your computer and go through it and find all the stuff that you ask for. And so what does the future look like? I mean, I think very much like some kind of AI assistant, probably for everyone. You know, I mean, like, seriously, an assistant where you could say, hey, plan my day or tell me my calendar, and you know, not some Siri little thing, like like but something that you could direct to do work. Yeah, something that you can direct to do work, like write me a paper on this and, you know, send it over to whoever.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. That's probably this year, and that's what's hard. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what comes next.
Every year, every 6 days. That's incredible. Yeah. So, you know, just get up on it. Don't be scared, and don't become consumed either that you're not the AI guru. It's one step. It's just one step at a time. I'm still learning. I'm a forever learner, but it has really helped my business in a major way. I am a huge collaborator. I just love doing collabs. They're just amazing, and AI just makes LSK go much faster and
save
be
time,
stronger.
Save time for the collaboration, right? Like, do the stuff that you don't want to do. Have AI do the stuff you don't want to do, so you can spend it in the human time.
As we close out, we're gonna have some fun rapid fire moments.
Oh boy! All right.
But before we close out, anything that you want to share that's on your heart, anything that we talked about today, whether it's about AI or leadership or any kind of inspiration that you want to give to folks, or you could sing and beatbox.
You don't want me to. I mean, I've got one, and it's sort of a techno thing that goes on there.
I am obsessed with techno in a major way. Those who really know me, it's like once I hear it, I'm like, it's like do-no-no-no. Do-do-no-no-no. Okay.
There you go.
Legit.
Yeah, there you go. Turn up the bass. I'll have the people in the booth turn up the bass. Yeah, exactly. Anything? No, there's nothing. I mean, if you're living in fear, I guess I would just say there are like truly scary things that could happen, but I think that those things are on humanity, and I think that there are truly like really wonderful, amazing. We could have a really amazing future, and I think that's also on humanity. It's not really on the technology. That's really how I feel. I mean, I do think in the short term there will be some disruption. Yeah. But in the long term, like, things could be really pretty amazing if we handle it well. Yeah.
Looking up. So you heard it. You heard what, like, we talked about some good stuff. how to operationalize AI into your business, especially if you're a solopreneur or you have a small team. Are we doomed, or is AI a great thing? You're going to learn about that. You've already learned about it if you got to this point in the episode. And also just get some, go to the training and just look up, or if you want to see who's really doing it in the US and has a really great business model for a school, that's definitely the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship. You ready for this?
I'll try it.
Quick answers only, no explaining, rapid fire time.
Let's go for it.
All right. Hey. Okay. Where would you put your AI robot at night when sleeping? It's like a full AI robot, like the ones that are walking around. When you're sleeping, would you put it in your room so it's there when you need it, or another part of the house?
Definitely another part of the house. I mean, I'd probably ask it to face the wall, to be honest with you.
I was like coming up with a plan in my head. I was just like, okay, what if I keep it at a different location and pick it up every day? I think the future is great, but I don't got that much trust. Let's test this thing out just a little bit.
I'd put it in a corner somewhere. Totally.
Don't look at me.
Face the wall. Yeah. I mean,
legit.
I wake up sometimes at night. I got to wander the house. So you're going to just look at the wall.
Yeah, look at the wall.
That's right.
AI taking jobs, hype or reality?
Short-term reality, long-term, I hope, hype.
Okay. Your first ever reaction to AI, curious or terrified?
Extremely curious.
Okay, all right. AI writing emails, blessing or they all sound the same?
Right now they all sound the same. Long-term, maybe blessing.
Yeah. Hi, I hope all is well. I am so excited and thrilled about this opportunity.
Yeah.
Period. Dash.
Yeah.
Hi, emoji.
Yeah, emojis. I mean, I'm not an emoji guy, so like if you get anything from me with emoji, you know AI.
Yeah, AI did it for real. This last one. Pick a personality for your AI assistant. You have no other choices but these two. Okay?
Yeah.
Unhinged grandma or overachieving intern?
Wait, does unhinged grandma come with the stereotype that it can't operate the things I'm asking it to operate?
You never know what you get with unhinged grandma.
Because, I mean, I might like unhinged grandma more than overachieving. I had some conversations with some people that, like I used to have to go and shovel my neighbor's driveway, and one time she invited me in, and I think she was saying some things she thought were like really, just like forward thinking, but maybe for her time, for the 30s, they were forward thinking, and I concede that they were, but as a young man at 17, I'm just sitting there like, oh no,
this is not what I asked for.
I have to eat this cookie and pretend
have a cookie.
Yeah.
I would totally have unhinged grandma.
Yeah, I think unhinged grandma would be interesting.
You know what, low-key, I love foolery.
Yeah.
I love foolery.
Yeah, me too.
My favorite actor of all time is Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And I tell people, it's like, that's like my dad. I love my dad is my birth dad, which I love so much. He's freaking funny.
Yeah.
But Will Ferrell, let me tell you something. I'm a wild child. Very few well, now everybody knows at this point. Yeah. I am a wild child that loves absolute foolery, but I'm also very refined when the time comes. Yeah, unhinged grandma is it.
I think it might be.
Well, here we are at the end of the show. Find your unhinged grandma in AI. And if you didn't find one, I'm pretty sure you could train it to be an unhinged grandma. But until next time, thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you so much for joining this episode of Who's in Your Contacts. Until next time, and I love you. Peace.